And we're on. Good evening, good evening, good evening, my loyal Casamaniacs. Yes, this is your old friend, the arch fiend, the nefarious Uncle Chuckie. And at the other end, we actually have two people tonight. And hopefully Skype won't blow up in the process. So I will now give you to Brad, who will introduce our other person. Brad, take it.
Hello, hello, my friend. How you doing this fine evening, sir?
I'm doing okay.
All right. I heard you had a great time down in Chicago.
Oh, we had a
And
wonderful time down in Chicago, and I didn't have to drive, which made it even better.
well, good for you, sir. Good for you, and good for everybody around you that's on the road. Yes.
Oh, yeah, usually because by the time I get down there, I'm so stressed out from the drive that it's just not safe to be within 20 yards of me.
Yeah, and I'm kind of thinking how many psionic little psionic incidences took place on the way from Milwaukee down to Chicago.
Usually there's a number.
Oh yeah, I can
But
imagine.
this time, I just sat back, enjoyed the ride. Um,
As always.
and
Well,
I will tell you, when we came home and we were in this horrible rainstorm,
mm-hmm.
I was very glad I wasn't driving.
mm. Oh man.
Yes, because I don't think we would have gotten home.
Well,
Excuse me.
so Donna enjoyed herself down there. I'm assuming everything went great and
Oh,
she had a
everything
good time.
was great. We
Oh,
had a
fantastic!
wonderful time. We did. We had a
Excellent.
wonderful time. Saw good friends, ate good food,
Mhm.
slept in a really nice hotel room by the airport, watched the watched the airplanes leave tire tracks on the roof of the hotel. And no, actually they very rarely actually go over the hotel.
Yes,
Uh,
yeah.
and it's seriously soundproofed, so you really don't notice stuff.
Well, excellent, excellent. Well, tonight we kind of have a special guest here. Her name is Shelley Wright, and Chuck, I've talked to you about her numerous times on the air,
Mm.
and yeah, and she and I have worked together for almost 10 years. Matter of fact, let me give you a story, and then we'll bring her on the air. Uh, my very
Okay.
first my very first customer, and I think you remember I was telling you about the this woman in Michigan thought she had a ding in her house, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well,
Hmm.
I didn't know a damn thing about this stuff, and Josh was out of town. He was doing some kind of a TV show, and the only person I knew that was associated with Joshua P. Warren was this lady on the line here, Shelley Wright. And I gave her a call and I said, Shelley, can you help me? Because I don't know crap about this stuff. And she kind of gave us little helpful hints about what to do to protect her, to protect myself, and all these other things, or all these things that were involved in the situation. And and so I just kind of every time I get on the phone, I just talk to her. I said, what the heck? I was just joking around. I said, hey Scully, I need some help today. And
Oh,
she retorted back, all right Mulder, what do you need?
oh,
And and that is how Dr. Mulder got started. This woman's on the
blame them. Don't sue me.
but anyway, that's just how I got started. And she has a pretty strong paranormal background herself, and she's been working with, or she was on the when Josh had a show. Speaking of strange, she was either I guess her he was kind of, she was the woman who would provide the female perspective on certain paranormal events that they would discuss on the air, and she was kind of a sounding board for for Josh, and it's kind of like she was the epic man of that show. Let's put it that way. And yeah, I've dealt with her for over 10 years, and I got to say, some of the projects we have worked on, and it varies. Uh, we've had a very very high success rate, and I just wanted to get her on the air and kind of have you two discuss magic and psionics because she's had some experience with working with me on psionics and taking her mojo, taking her potions, her spells, whatever it may be, and using radionics or psionics to help focus that intent or that spell, quote unquote. And so, but anyway, so let's take it away here. Shelley, or do you hear us loud and clear?
Hi, I can. How is
Hi.
everybody doing? Hi. Thank you so much for having me tonight.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. And I think we did a pre-interview with Chuck, and you guys really hit off great. And I just want to kind of, let you two kind of go back and forth, with about this stuff, and then if I need to interject in any way, I'll just kind of break on in there. But so Yeah, let's get the conversation started. Who wants to go first?
I'll let Shelley go first because I have no idea what I'm going to talk about.
We're just gonna wing it here. Yeah, Mulder and I haven't known each other. Brad and I haven't. We've known each other for a decade now, and yeah, that very first client that he had was the first time that we'd ever started working together, and it just, I don't really even know how it all started, but all of a sudden it's 10 years later, and we've been and it wasn't like we were trying to keep secrets from our close friends, but um we started working on these projects together, things that we thought were, impossible or nearly impossible to do, and we had amazing results. And I just worked through him. He had the clients, and he would tell me what we needed to do, and then I do my part while he was doing his part, and we just got these amazing results. Which I can't really tell you about because I don't know what I'm allowed to say and what I'm not. But we just kind of kept it to ourselves. I don't. Most people around us didn't realize that we were collaborating at all.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And and it's good. Like even Chuck will say this. When you're working on something, it's best to be quiet about it until it's done, because you don't want any kind of a naysayer or any kind of negative energy, kind of your pathway there. You know how people are, and it does play a part.
Actually, that's not the reason. The reason is if it doesn't work, you don't want to look like a total fool.
Oh, okay.
If you say, I am going to do this, this, and this, and then nothing happens.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to be in that situation.
Yeah,
No.
I kind of went through that situation last Sunday. Anyway, I don't want to go over that again. But yeah, I tell you, the UFO thing. I mean, third time was not the charm, Chuck. That's all I got to say.
Hey, look at the bright side. You weren't the one charging anybody any money to see this thing that didn't happen.
Oh, geez. Well, I think a lot of it has. I was even talking to Shelley about this. That that I think with the media involved there, and you had a lot of variables. It just wasn't. It was kind of different than the other two prior. I mean, we didn't have all this. We had people, for example, when we did the project up in Michigan, we had people there who were positive, minded, who actually wanted to see a UFO. They didn't want to see a UFO. They wouldn't have been there to begin with at this conference. And so I think that made a difference. And then when he brought in, the media crew and whoever else, I don't have a clue. I just think he was contaminated
because of the weather. So go
on. Oh, no. But he was having, I think he just kind of contaminated the experiment. And no offense to Josh, it's just that's the vibe I got from it. I don't know. What do you think, Shelley?
I think you're probably right about that. And, the way that it was billed, it was supposed to be a very, very small, intimate group of people who truly wanted to be there and were interested in summoning a UFO. And of course, when you bring in outside media, they want something to happen, but they're just as happy for you to fail. They just, most media people are not, they're not positive people. They have their doubts, and they just, they're not believers. They don't have a pony in the game. They're just getting a story. They're bored. They want to get home and have a beer, and they're not into it. So yeah, you did have a lot of variables that you couldn't really do anything about.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's my excuse anyway. Yeah, it's just one of those things. But no. All right. Well, Chuck, I mean, you've had a lot of history with combining magic with radionics. I mean, that's pretty much what's your claim to fame.
So that's what I'm notorious for, among other things.
Here's some of those stories.
Oh, like the time I was using radionics to charge up the room in order to summon what I was summoning, and I did such a good job of it that the cat wouldn't go into it for 3 days. Which was weird because Cleo never had a problem with it before. And this time she just didn't want to go there. So, what's the problem, kitten? You did something in there. Well, of course I did something in there. I'm always doing something in there. You think I'm going to leave a whole room of the house empty? Well, you do something. I'm going in another room. Oh, well. So that was kind of interesting and weird. But yeah, mostly though I don't use it for I didn't use it for things like that. Mostly I would use it for like charging up a talisman or something.
Getting the girls.
Yeah, that's basically what I would use it for. I would use the energy of what I was trying to put into the talisman, that being the input, and the raw talisman, whatever it's made of, is sitting in the output. Set the machine, hit the amplifier, and let it go for a few days. And that's how I would charge them. Very simple, not complicated. People tend to make things much more complicated than they really are.
Amen. Yeah, I agree.
It's like, I mean, you could, okay, you're going to summon a UFO, but all of a sudden you've got all this extraneous personnel. Well, you've got a choice. You can have the UFO, or you can have the extraneous personnel. Okay? So your extraneous personnel bus breaks down. They're sitting in the middle of the desert or whatever, and you can conjure the UFO. Simple.
Yeah.
And have some fun.
Oh man. But no, like I said, it's just one of those things where I'll give you an example. Now I've been bragging on about Shelley about this money potion stuff. And she sent you a sample of it, and
yes, it's sitting right here.
Right, exactly. And I'm going to tell you, Chuck, I mean, every time I've done experiments where I wouldn't use the potion for a couple of days, and to be honest with you, business was dead. If I had used the potion, things started happening. I've either got an order from you, or an order from Josh, or like my little cryptocurrency thing to start, popping up a little bit. I make some money off of that. Just little things. It's usually you couldn't really count on which direction it's going to happen. It just happened. And Shelley, could you go into some detail about some of the experiences of your clients when using this stuff?
Well, to tell you, one of them was Joshua, and he had this RV that he.
Okay.
Hello, Shelley.
We lost Shelley.
Okay, she's calling back. Hang on a second. All right, let's get her on the air. Hang on. I'm gonna.
Where? No,
okay.
We really lost her.
Okay, hang on. I'm dialing her back in right now.
Hello?
Yeah, okay, you're back.
Welcome back.
Sorry about that.
That happens.
Are you there?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay.
Here, we're waiting.
So Joshua was one of my clients, and he used his money potion in a different way than you all use it. He was not using it in conjunction with radionics, but he had this RV. He needed to sell it. He sprayed that whole thing down and sold it like the next day or within a couple of days or something. Got more out of it than he had paid for it, and it was used when he bought it. And he was just absolutely thrilled. So
I'm sure he was.
It works. It's weird how it works. Sometimes it works in exactly the way you want it to. I had a friend who was about 7 or 8 months pregnant that needed to get a loan. She was a waitress, and so you use mostly cash. You don't really have any kind of credit. She I gave her some. She used it. The very next day, she got her loan. And we were really kind of surprised because we were like, okay, well, he knows that she's not going to be working for quite some time after she has this baby, that she got it. And then that very week, she got a huge tip from one of her tables. A couple of weeks after that, her and her husband went to one of these box stores, home improvement stores, to get an air conditioner. And they were going to use one of their gift cards that they had gotten from a baby shower. They get up there, they couldn't make it work. There's this old man behind them. All he has in his hand is a power drink. And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. You just go on with it. And they're like, but it's like $200. I don't care. That's all right. Just take it and go. I'll take care of it. And he bought them a $200 air conditioning unit. So it's weird how it works. Sometimes you'll get more hours. Sometimes you just never know how it's going to work. And when you have the really big wishes, sometimes it just takes a little bit longer for the universe to rearrange itself for that to happen.
That's true.
Usually,
That's true.
it starts working immediately.
The first thing people have to realize is that the universe exists to make us happy.
Yes.
Yeah. It has no other reason for existing. Once that is accomplished, all else follows. I do have a question for you. I took a sniff of the potion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to clean out my sinuses. How did you come to the concoction? I mean, deciding what went in it, and
well, when I did that, when I do spells, for example, one thing I do is tell a story with it. And it's, with money potion, with money, it's not just the getting of it. It's not just the drawing of it to you. There are so many other things that go into it. It's not just the getting it, it's the keeping it. It's the making other people pay you back for things they owe you, or the keeping other people from envying what you have, or, there are just a combination of different things. And so I just kind of started experimenting about 4 years ago. And I came up with this because I had so many friends that were having money problems, and I just wanted to do something to help them. And I just started trying out some things. And the original formula that I came up with was by far the best. I tried to improve upon it, and it did absolutely nothing. But yeah, I made up many batches, and I would give them out to friends, and I would get their feedback. Hey, did this work for you? What happened? Tell me your stories. So I came up with lots of really great stories. And originally I had intended it to be something to bring money into a business. So if my friends were working for somebody, you bring people in to spend money, that all trickles down to you. I had one friend that was working in um, uh, a little champagne bar, and she was saying, can you do something about Thursdays? Thursdays, we are dead. Absolutely nothing happens on Thursdays. Nobody wants to be here. We're falling asleep. Can you do something? So I brought it in and I sprayed it everywhere. And the next thing I know, that night was the busiest night that they had during the week. And then every single Thursday after that, it was completely packed in there. It was so busy. It was one of their busiest nights of the week after that. So, but I had made it to bring the business in. And then my friends were using it in different ways than I had intended, which was actually a good thing. Some of them would spray it all over themselves, like it was perfume. I had one person that would spray it. She sprays it on her shoes, so everywhere she walks, she's gonna bring money in. And
Yeah.
with her, she was having some really bad luck with a meter maid in town. She felt like they were out to get her because no matter where she parked, she got a ticket every single day. She could not
Brad, we know
stand
how to
this
deal with
person.
those people.
Yes, we do, and have.
Yeah.
It
So
usually involves a cement truck. Uh,
so as soon as I gave it to her, she stopped getting tickets. And it was a good thing too because she was using her mom's truck and her mom was getting all of these notices in the mail and it was causing a problem in their relationship. And so, but as soon as she got the potion, she stopped getting tickets
oh, I wish I
and she got
had
a
that.
raise at work.
Yeah.
Um,
Excellent.
yeah, I mean, I'm trying to remember some more stories. So many stories, and it's not just here. There was another one in England. And he had used it. He had had his girlfriend use it. So it's not just the people that are getting it themselves. They're also saying to their friends and their loved ones, "Hey, you got to try this," which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
But you never know what's going to happen. You never know what the trigger is going to be for that person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, and I had somebody else that I think they sprayed it all over some shoes they were trying to sell, and the results didn't work out exactly like they thought they were going to. But I think that the universe doles out your money or your monetary reward or whatever the way it wants to.
Yeah, it's probably the path
Um,
of least resistance. I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Basically, I view the universe as an information system. It has absolutely no volition of itself. It just basically takes information, put into it, and then shoots it out. And so if you put the information in that this is going to bring you money, the universe will, what am I smelling here? Oh, okay, I guess I'm supposed to send money to them. You know, uh,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. Or the universe is going, I just got this weird lightning bolt that hit me in the ass. What is Chuck doing this time?
But no, I tell you, the way I use this stuff, and I even told Shelley, it's kind of like I wouldn't call it a ritual or a ceremony per se, but she gave me a drinking bottle full of this stuff. And I think she gave it to me in October. And what I would do is I'll take one of my fingers, dip it into the bottle, then I would start putting a couple of drops on the input plate of one of the radionics, fine radionics machines that we have available, and then I put a little bit on the witness sample, which is me, a couple of strands of my hair. And I've noticed every time I do that, it may take an hour, it may be 10 hours, or maybe the next day, but something always comes up. I mean, I always get out of the blue order from you, Chuck, or from Josh, or whatever, or somebody's calling me asking for a specialty type item or situation. They want to go over some engineering, but always in short order. I don't, I think if by using Shelley's mojo or magic, quote unquote, with these machines seems to really expedite the results of the machines. And it's not just a money potion. I mean, we had one deal. I think it was like what was it called? Solomon's Wisdom. You gave me a potion to
yeah,
help.
King Solomon's wisdom.
Yeah, I used some of that. And go ahead.
Wait a minute. This is a man who had 300 wives, 3,000 concubines. Wisdom? Where? What would Solomon have known about wisdom? I mean, he didn't even have wisdom teeth, for God's sake.
Apparently he was a ladies' man. But
and of course there is the famous story of Solomon, which is my favorite, where he woke up one morning. It was petition day, and he'd had a horrible night. There was another riot in the harem. He didn't get any sleep. He had a hangover, and now these two women come in arguing over who's who the kid belongs to, and he just said, "Oh hell, chop it in two and give each a half."
Yeah, the frustration level was a little high that day.
Yeah, it was. This is what happens when you have a good press agent. You can be drunk, you can have a horrible hangover, and just come up with something, and they'll make it sound good.
Oh man. Oh jeez. Well,
But anyway, okay, I have been experimenting with the potion,
Yes.
and I will say, after using it for I don't know how long it's been since Brad sent it to me, it works.
Yay.
Yeah, it definitely. I will admit, it works.
Oh, okay. So you will say the great Uncle Chuckie will give
Great
his.
Uncle Chuckie will say, "I hold in my hand the reason we could take a limo down to Chicago last week."
Yay! I'm clapping. Yay!
Yay.
Yeah, strike one up for Shelley and Chuck.
As,
All right.
as the great senator from Wisconsin, Joe McCarthy, said, "I hold in my hand." Yes.
How many communists did you wind up being? Was it 57?
Excuse me?
How many communists did he wind up having? Was that?
I don't think he caught a single one.
Oh, okay. All right. All right.
I don't think he caught a single one. But,
Yeah.
you know.
That was the history portion of the show, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. All right. Anyway.
The only ones he caught were publicly known as members of the Communist Party.
Oh,
that was it.
Easy.
Otherwise, you know.
Oh, geez. Okay. Well, his detective work was not exactly the greatest in the world. He was,
No. Actually, people forget that McCarthyism did not die because of anything Edward R. Murrow did. What killed McCarthyism was a sportscaster whose name I can't, or sports writer, I can't think of the man's name now. But there was a fellow named Westbrook Pegler. Now, why anyone would read anything written by someone named Westbrook Pegler, I do not know. But there was this person, and he accused the sports writer of being a communist and all the troubles that came there too. Well, he sued Pegler for libel, and he won what was for the time a huge judgment. And Pegler basically found himself giving away mimeograph copies of his column on a street corner. And that is what really ended McCarthyism. It was just one good, successful libel suit.
Oh, jeez. Well, that was not too good.
That was good for the sportscaster. Wasn't good for Pegler.
Oh, geez.
Who frankly had it coming.
Yeah. Oh, well. Yeah, work in the shadows of some things is probably best. What can I say? But no. Again, I mean, I've just really had fantastic results with some of the things that Shelley has done, and now Shelley, I want to see if you agree with me on this. Okay, when people buy our machines, it's usually for three reasons: to get paid, to get laid, and revenge. In your career. Would you say that your client base is basically one of the same identical thing?
Yeah, that's what I would say that.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the three main things.
Yeah.
The three basic human motivations: get money, get laid, get rid of people.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, geez. I mean, we could pretty much sum up our entire careers in less than 10 words. Oh God. I tell you, it's just amazing though. But yeah, these are the basic human instincts. That really, and I mean, and I find it interesting that with what I do and what Chuck does and what you do is really there's a common denominator there. Besides, the actual things that people ask for. Is using consciousness and intent to change realities, and I've even told Chuck many times before that magic and radionics is just basically the other side of the coin. They just go together. It's like peanut butter and jelly.
Well, it's the same thing. It's just that we use a different technology.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean,
that is really very simple. I am old. I remember when to get the little people to perform inside the box in the living room, you had to turn a dozen dials.
Right.
Yeah. And so I was imprinted from literal infancy that you turn dials to make things work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My culture, we didn't go out in the woods and dance around a bonfire.
Right. Right. Well,
We turned dials.
uh,
So I may, there's a lot of ritual stuff, and frankly, I spent a lot of time in ritual magic before I got into radionics. It didn't have the emotional or psychological effect of just having something with dials.
that was your tool. That was your way of
Yeah,
connecting with what. Okay.
and
Now,
yeah,
all right, and Shelley, I mean, I'm trying to figure out how to put this here. Okay, what in your mind? And again, there's no right or wrong answer. I'm just curious of what you think, what your opinion. I mean, what makes your potions work? Is it the operator, quote unquote, you? Is it you that really takes certain herbs or whatever, certain proportions, and put them all together, and they perform a certain action? It does it take? I mean, how much of you is in play here when it comes to putting together a potion?
I would think, I mean, I don't know a life without magic because I was born this way. I just
Right.
did things. And
yeah.
so I don't think that my potions are separate from me. I think that they do need me, but I think that when you put certain combinations of things together, certain herbs, roots, um minerals, I think that innately somehow they know how they're supposed to work together when they're in combination with other things. um Other than salt just does what you tell it to. But certain things you put together in such a way that, I don't know, I think that your roots, what you're working with has a consciousness of its own and knows what it's supposed to be doing. I know that sounds weird.
Mm-hmm. No, no, not at
I,
all.
no, not at all. It's like if in the old days somebody would ask me, "Well, how does radionics work?" And I say, "I have no idea." I,
It just
it
does.
works. That's all I know. I have absolutely no idea why it does.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
And I
Well,
still don't.
yeah. I mean, I have my ideas. I mean, it's kind of like quantum mechanics stuff, which you don't, you kind of think is a bunch of, hooey, but
Oh,
that's just
quantum
me.
mechanics is very real, but I don't think it applies to radionics.
Oh, well, I
No,
always,
we're not going to get into that again.
yeah, yeah,
Not
yeah.
again.
Oh, yeah,
Or
we've
my
already talked
hands
about
will reach through the Skype and
that. Yeah,
strangle
talking
you.
on me. Yeah, oh, God, that won't be the first time you had that compulsion. Oh, what can I say? But yeah, again, Shelley, I'm just kind of wondering, I'm trying to, because what would you, if somebody was to ask you what you were, what would you tell them? Would you say that you're a sorcerer, a magician? I mean, what would be the title that you give yourself?
I I don't know. I mean, for so many years, I never thought about labeling myself. I guess magician is a really good one. I
Okay.
think yeah, I think that's a good one. I would call you a magician. I would call Chuck a magician. Yeah.
So basically, the only difference between what you do and what we do is the tools. Is the tools that we use to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. And I don't always use the same. I don't always do the same thing in the same situations. Um, I use different tools, or I may come up with something completely different I've never done before. I use intuition a lot, but I think that you guys use intuition with what you do
Mhm.
also. You just
Yes,
come about it in a more scientific way, maybe.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and again, I just noticed, like I mentioned earlier, it's just that when we combine your stuff with our stuff, and it just seems to really intensify the results that we were getting here. And I mean, we've done everything from what taking care of a business or out west somewhere where they were taking advantage of innocent people, and you and I worked in conjunction there. I think, hell, what did it take, like 48 hours before the state attorney's office sent them a letter to, close your doors. You can't do any more business or something along that line.
Yeah, 48 hours. That's the outside. I don't think it may not have taken that much time. It was so fast.
Well, it takes time to hear about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that, Chuck. Yeah, it was lightning fast.
Mm-hmm.
I know that our client was like, "What the heck did you do?" They couldn't believe it.
Yeah, and again, it was just Shelley and I working together. This is one of those tough cases, Chuck. I mean, we're really, we didn't, Shelley and I were kind of looking at it. We're hearing all the facts behind this thing, and we're like, what the hell? I mean, if this thing happens, this is going to be a miracle or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Shelley and I worked together. She did her thing, I did my thing. And we just kind of combined forces here. And yeah, it's like a short period of time. And our like Shelley said, she was like, I don't understand. What did you guys do? That was her reaction. That was it was pretty neat. But yeah, it's just again, it's just one of those things where I kind of want to bring Shelley on here and kind of introduce her to our Casa Maniacs that listen to this thing. And by the way, Shelley, we got people all over the world that listen to this podcast, and they're heavily involved in psionics. And I think I just wanted to give them an introduction to another part of the puzzle, another piece of the puzzle, where because I'm gonna be honest with you, everybody, I would say 80% of the customers, whether it's through Chuck or through Josh, 80% of what they're asking for, what they're looking for, is financial. And I would say the other 15% of it is probably
the financial. They want their ex back.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's the part of it I hate.
Oh yeah.
Because I have to explain to them, look, you're not gonna get your ex back.
He or she is an ex for a reason.
Yeah, that's right. And unless the reason is dealt with, you're not getting the ex back.
And sometimes it's hard for somebody to hear that you lost that person because, hey, maybe you dodged a bullet. Maybe the universe is looking out for you and realizes you do not need to be with that person.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We've
all been there.
I can think of a few.
Those are the wisest words I have heard today, and I know how hey, when your heart gets broken, I get all that,
Been there, done that. Got the toothpaste. Stood on the pile of skulls, holding the severed head, shouting down, "How many more do I have to kill for you?" But.
I like that visual.
Oh, that sounds like a business card, Shelley. Oh man, but yeah, women are a mystery. Speaking as a man, women are a mystery. I will never understand you ladies. I think every time I think I got it solved, it's always something always happens where I don't think I got the complete. I haven't got the complete visual here of what the heck's going on, but. Yeah, it's and again, people need to understand this person is an ex for a reason. Please, and Josh asked me the very same question in an interview. He said, "Well, what do you suggest for for a romantic partner?" I told him simply, and I want both your opinions on this too. I said, what I would do is sort of make like a checklist of some of the attributes that you're looking for. And use that as a starting point. Don't wish for a particular person. Just wish for the best person for you.
The best person for you is the best way to go. Not even the checklist, because you can have someone who meets everything on that checklist, and there's something else there that makes it not right.
That's true. That's
Oh,
true.
yes,
I know from experience with that technique. Sitting at the machine, bring me person with the blah 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 blah, and there she was, and then oh my God, now how do I get rid of her? Uh,
Any experience that kind of thing, Shelley, that you'd like to tell the class?
I did have to get rid of somebody that was crazy as a shot cat. And I actually did do a spell, and I mean, this is somebody that was possessive and just crazy and obsessive, um and soon as he walked out the door, I ran to the kitchen. I got my ingredients together and I did my thing. Within 30 minutes, I get a phone call from him, and he's very calm, and he tells me that he is going to move to Wilmington to take care of his dad, who was terminally ill, and he was going back to school, and he was doing all of these things, and he just, it was like it was all his idea, and I let him think it was, and he was gone. I mean, that was it. I think I saw him maybe one other time on his way out of town, and it was great.
Hmm.
It couldn't have been any better or any smoother. Um,
Excellent.
because
Excellent.
you just can't reason with crazy, and he was fun, kind of, at the time, until the crazy got a little too much, and
Oh.
something
Well,
had to be done. But
oh. Was he the kind of guy that would take your phone out of your purse and start looking through your text messages and that kind of thing? Was he that kind of a
he
guy?
was, yeah. I don't know that he ever actually did that, but the type of person that would make up situations like, oh, my friend saw you and some other person.
good Lord.
Like, he was trying to get you to admit that you had done something wrong when you knew you hadn't, and
Oh.
couldn't understand it when you didn't rise to the bait.
That is
Oh, that.
crazy.
Yeah, Chuck. That
Yeah,
sounds
that's
like some.
crazy. There's no other
Chuck.
word for it.
Yeah, I think you dated the female versions of that, haven't you, Chuck?
I know I never had that happen.
Oh, what about that crazy woman that was trying to that you were talking about on the
Oh,
air?
no.
Oh, she wasn't that
The
bad.
crazy ex that thought I was psionically stalking her for
Oh,
8.
that one. Yeah.
Oh my!
Oh yes, and I just finally, I tweaked around my website, and I then finally said, enough is enough. Pazuzu, she's all yours.
Have
And
that.
so is her daughter. Have fun.
Oh, bon appetit.
And
You and your little
that was it.
dog
She
too.
disappeared. I mean, she totally disappeared from online and everything. She was gone.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, we can do things that will just get people, not to hurt them, but you remove them from your life forever.
When I go out to remove somebody, I don't care if they're hurt. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. If she'd been driving with her daughter and was speeding a cement truck and flattened the broadside of the car, T-boned them, and left nothing but pieces floating around, I wouldn't have lost a minute's sleep.
Well, yeah, there's the Chuck way.
The Chuck way is, when in doubt, wipe them out.
It's
Oh,
effective.
It
yeah.
works. It works. And of course, the beautiful thing about it is everybody knows that is the Chuck method. So I don't get bothered by people.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody.
Um.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, Shelley.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say that I had a similar situation. I think Shelley, I told you about this. My brother apparently swam in a contaminated pool a couple of weeks ago and caught some kind of a urinary tract infection. And I always kid him and said, "Are you sure it wasn't gonorrhea?" But that's beside the point. And apparently, and my sister called me. I swear to you, my sister called me up. Brad, did you put some kind of whammy on our brother? And I said, "Are you kidding me?
Oh,
Really?
that's
Are you
funny.
What?
kidding?" Yeah, my own family thinks I said, oh, that little turd. If I have anything I want to say to him, I'll just say it to his face. I'm not, I'm not going to, I'll just take care of it the old-fashioned brother-to-brother way. And it was just, but yeah, I mean, even my own family, but like if
Oh my.
something, yeah, they're like, are you
Oh,
mad at
my
us?
favorite. My favorite. There was an incident in Chicago where a judge came home to find her family murdered.
Ooh.
And so I go to our monthly gathering that night. Actually, it was weekly back then. And an old friend of mine said, "What did you do to so and so?" And I said, "I didn't do anything. I never even heard of the person," which is true.
Me.
And he said, "Come on, your footprints are all over that."
Oh my gosh.
Oh, and Shelley, have you ever been accused unjustly of putting the whammy on somebody, for example? I'm just curious.
Probably, probably. But I will tell you that I had a conversation with someone that teaches a lot of magic, hoodoo, things like that. And apparently, in the magical community, when you're doing curses on people people don't always know whose curse did it. Who killed somebody, who caused this thing to happen. And sometimes, you have two people that have worked a curse on some particular awful person, and something terrible happens, and one of them's trying to take credit for it, and the other one's like, it was me. No, it was me. No, I did this. I'm the
Well,
one that did that.
yeah.
So yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, me, it's like I don't really do much to individuals. I haven't done that in many years because, frankly, I don't have those kind of problems unless I'm hired to. Yeah. It's business. It's nothing personal. But it runs in the family. But but it's big things that I get accused of. When they had the tsunami in Japan, what was it? Let's say Fukushima. And what happened was I go on Facebook and somebody has sent me a message. What did you do to Japan? And I didn't do
What
anything
did you
to Japan.
you
What happened?
Nothing. I had nothing to do with this.
I had nothing to do with that one. No.
Oh, oh man. Oh, so you were guilty until proven innocent.
Yeah, but of course the wonderful thing is the things I get accused of are such that, do you want to get him mad? No, not really. No.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've noticed that it's a little bit of respect. I appreciate that respect. I'm kind of like, I try to treat people the same way that I want to be treated. And if they start acting like a bunch of jerks, I will gladly reciprocate. I don't like doing it. It's not really my thing. I mean, I know, Chuck, you live on this stuff, but for me, it's not really my thing. But yeah, if you're gonna act like an asshole with me, I will take care of business.
Yeah.
So, and Chuck doesn't need to say anything because that's a gimme. But I don't
Well,
know.
that's how you do it. I
Yeah.
mean, I have been, I'm going to be 70 years old next month. I've been taking care of business for so many years. I don't even think about it anymore.
Second nature.
Oh man.
And so I don't worry about that sort of thing. I just find it, and I don't really care about being respected. I couldn't care less if people respect me or not. I will make do with sheer stark terror.
Yeah. You don't have to respect me, just fear me.
Yeah.
Basically, it's sort of, when people say, "No, we are not going to try anything with him. We've got kids."
Yeah.
That is good. That is good.
That's how I like people to think. And of course, at times it's very frustrating. It really is. You've got all these groups out there, and they're always condemning this or condemning that or blah 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 blah. I have yet, in all my years, to have one of them say, "We strongly condemn in the strongest possible terms the behavior of Uncle Chuckie." Not a word.
Yeah.
Not a word. Okay, yeah, they're going to be dead in 48 hours. But hey, who wants to live forever?
Oh, geez.
Let's have some fun.
Oh, I tell you.
Years are behind me.
Oh, yeah. I tell you, Shelley, you know, I told Josh, I said, Josh, I'm going to get a hold of this Uncle Chuckie here and just see, you know, if we can maybe, you know, work on a couple of projects together or whatever, just to just to meet the guy. And Chuck and Josh, he said, Freddie, are you sure you want to do that? I said, sure, why not? And you know, you know, after I got finished talking to you, I told Josh, I said, Josh, you know, one thing I realized when you walk into the lion's den, you realize that you're one of the lions. And he just kind of, oh, okay. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. So, but again, you know, Chuck, and I know you don't like working around. You're actually a nice guy. You really are. You're actually a nice guy. You can be a little emotional from time to time.
There goes my image. People meet me, they always say that.
I don't know. You got a fool. What can I say? Yeah. That was the devil.
Of course, I'm behaving. You know.
Oh God. Oh, I tell you, Shelley, you should have been up there when Josh and I were doing that little film with Chuck. I tell you, it was an unusual experience. Being in a conference room with Charles Castellano.
Watching Brad and Josh freezing was priceless.
Oh God. Oh man.
It was warm. I had my jacket open.
Shelley, you know how mountain cold is. It's like the coldest of cold, right?
Oh yeah.
Go to Wisconsin. Go to Wisconsin. That's all I gotta say. And compare the two and see what you think. Oh God. Oh man, it'd be like 12 degrees out there. I'm like, what the hell?
That's like not cold.
For me it was. It's below freezing for Brad. Oh God. But anyway, no, it was
a little chilly. Okay, I'll allow it.
Yeah. Yeah. But but you know, what can I say? Well, Shelley, I mean, is there anything that you want to kind of bring up to everybody that you want to talk about or anything? Plus, I need to get your contact information for anybody who wants to get a hold of you you know, either, you know, for a potion or something, you know, or what have you. Is there anything that you'd like to bring up that we haven't already talked about before?
You know, I can't think of anything at the moment. But you can you know, always email me at nevermoremysticalarts@gmail.com.
Okay, all one word, nevermore, just the way it sounds.
Yeah, nevermoremysticalarts@gmail.com.
Oh, okay, very good, very good.
That's probably the best way to get a hold of me.
All right, yeah, and like I said, Shelley, you know, we've worked together, and you know, for over a decade, and I have to say, some of the stuff we pulled off has just been miraculous. And I just like I mentioned earlier, I just want everybody to kind of get a glimpse into some of the things behind the scenes, some of the people who are working behind the scenes to make certain projects, you know, become a reality. And it's, you know, I have, you know, like I said, it's just been an absolute pleasure working with you for the last 10 years, and I hope to do it for another 10.
I feel the same way. I hope so too. We have done some incredible work together.
Yes, we have.
And who would have thought?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it was just kind of a fluke that things kind of came together.
Yeah, I mean, all because of that crazy lady in upstate Michigan with the demon.
Couldn't you have just told the crazy lady, look, put the demon to work.
Yeah.
Take out the garbage. You know, do things around the house.
Oh, Chuck, I mean, this was, you know, I was getting stuff like she was telling me, you know, flies were appearing in, you know, in the middle of winter. And again, this is upstate Michigan, so it's just like, you know, it's the same kind of climate that you lived through, you know. And she was talking about how her back got scratched by
Oh,
some
one
kind
of
of.
those. Yes.
Yeah,
It's a
exactly.
back scratching spirit.
Yeah, and she sent pictures of these welts, like 3 claws that went down the back of her, went down her
That
husband's
is
back.
actually something that mystifies me. Why is it always three?
I don't know. Any ideas,
I
Shelley?
don't know. That fascinates me.
A lot of people will say it's kind of the wording is the mocking of the Trinity, the Holy
Yeah, I
Trinity.
know, but I don't buy that for a
I
minute.
don't either. I really don't. And I think a lot of people, there are a lot of people out there that say that they have demonic things going on and they don't. They might not even have a haunting going on, but
Oh,
just something that I don't know, somehow they've got it in their head. And demonic activity is really rare.
yeah, it's not something that just happens.
No, no.
Oh, oh yeah. That reminds me. What was that tulpa thing that you were working on for that movie, The Apparition?
Yeah.
Oh, can you tell the audience a little bit about that? I think that was fascinating.
Well, it was very interesting. We were well, Joshua was contracted by Warner Brothers to do that DVD extra, and we were supposed to come up with an experiment along the lines of the Philip experiment, where they brought
Yes.
you know
Hmm.
they brought
I,
it
I don't
into
know if Brad knows about the Philip experiment, so and I'm sure some of our audience doesn't. So yeah,
Oh, do you
explain.
want to tell about it?
I was thinking you should. After all, it's
Okay.
your story.
So basically, in the 70s, you had some scientists that decided, hey, let's see if we can bring something into existence. And I don't remember how many of them got together. They got together a lot, and they basically would they came up with an idea of a person that they wanted to kind of call into being. They named him Philip. They gave him all of these different characteristics. Perhaps in hindsight, they shouldn't have made him a warlord. Um, but they would talk about him as if he was around, as if he had done certain things. They made him sound as if he was already real. And he did come into existence, and being a warlord, that he beat their ass, and that was basically what happened. So, did we make it any better by focusing on this evil looking little creepy tiki doll that I was supposed to bring into existence? No. Um, we hooked me up to this machine to amplify not just my thoughts, but as if I were thousands, I guess thousands of people, and I concentrated on seeing this little creepy little doll, and I just concentrated on bringing it into being. And at one point, when I'm doing my imagining, it wouldn't stay in the lab. It came out into another part of the building that where we were, but we couldn't document anything that had happened on film. It just didn't happen until the camera crew left, and then the next week, all hell broke loose. I wasn't there, but I heard that um, all of the cabinets and drawers in the kitchen opened up. Stuff was flying out, things flying out of the bathroom. I mean, it was just unreal. And then not long after that, Joshua was in the lab working one night, and he saw someone walking down the steps, and he thought it was our colleague Forrest Connor. And so he calls out, "Hey, Forrest," because it was a big guy, tall, um, looked like Forrest. Forrest was out of town, and I mean Joshua was so he knew something was there. He went and he searched all over, and he was not there. But we our old lab was in the basement of Forrest's house, and Forrest had a girlfriend, and he didn't tell her what we had done.